Winter Park police have released body cam video from the February night when an officer fatally shot a man at his niece's wedding reception. It shows 39-year-old Daniel Knight from Polk County knocking two officers to the ground before one of those officers shot and killed him. While police have suggested that officer was justified, his family's lawyers say the video does not shows that he did not deserve to die. 10 Tampa Bay's Miguel Octavio walks us through the body camera footage. Miguel.
On February 19th, 911 got this call about Daniel Knight.
Yes, he's being violent.
Moments later, two officers got to the Winter Park Event Center asking Knight to put his hands behind his back.
Back up. Hey, shut up. Back up.
Knight doesn't listen. Bystanders can be heard saying he's just drunk.
Out of the way.
Officers order a woman next to Knight to move away. She says she's his sister. Later, more bystanders show up and appear to defend Knight. An officer raises his voice at Knight. At that point, an officer grabs him. Knight punches him, forcing him on the ground. Police then say a second officer deploys his taser, but it doesn't work. Officers say Knight punched him and continued doing so while the officer was on the ground. That's when police say the officer fired shots at Knight. Immediately after, bystanders are heard screaming at the officer, asking why he did it. The officer demands bystanders stay back. More officers then arrive and they, along with bystanders, appear to give Knight medical aid. Police say Knight would then be brought to the hospital, where he later died. The officer can later be heard explaining what happened to colleagues.
He swung on me, hit me once, hit me again in the back of my head. I saw stars. I go on my back. That's when I roll over. And
Matter Restoration Polk says it's helping Knight's family. In a statement this afternoon, the organization called Knight's death unnecessary. The group says the video clips released by police show Knight's death could have been avoided. They say the officers should have handled this situation differently. The officer who fired his weapon was placed on administrative leave, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is still investigating this shooting.
And officers say they held off on sharing that body cam video until now because FDLE and the state attorney's office asked them to do so. We took that video to a law enforcement expert for a sharper insight on the officer's use of deadly force. Professor David Thomas of Florida Gulf Coast University has 20 years as a police officer and experience. Based on his experience, he says the shooting does appear justified. Thomas argues both officers were defenseless after Knight knocked them to the ground. When the officer's taser did not work and Knight kept attacking him, Thomas says then the use of force was necessary.
When he's getting punched in the back of the head, I know he's thinking, I can't protect myself if I'm unconscious. So he had no choice but to use his firearm and use deadly force.
Again, FDLE is investigating, which is protocol in an officer-involved shooting that is underway, and we're going to let you know as soon as we get any more information or updates in this case.